Before the world knew the truth, a confession was whispered in the shadows, one so powerful it could change everything. Yet, for centuries, this secret has been buried beneath layers of deception, hidden from the public eye. The question remains, why was it concealed for so long? What's truly been happening behind closed doors, in the dark corridors of power? In this video, you will uncover the explosive truth that's been silenced for years. Together, we will delve deep into the layers of deception surrounding Israel, Iran, and the global forces pulling the strings. You will understand why this conflict is far more than just politics. It is about power, survival, and the fate of entire nations. What if everything you thought you knew about the Israel-Iran conflict was just the surface? As we peel back the layers, you will see how the world's largest powers are intertwined in this struggle for control, and the hidden forces at play. The stakes are higher than ever. This isn't just a war for territory, it's a battle for influence, for belief, and for the future of our world. You will learn why the tensions between these two nations are far from simple geopolitical maneuvering. It's a struggle fueled by history, by religion, and by the very essence of existence itself. As the world braces for what's coming, ask yourself, will we be ready for the truth? Will we have the strength to face it? This isn't just a video, it's a revelation, one that will shake the very foundation of what we believe. So sit tight and prepare to see the world through a different lens. The journey begins now. The complex relationship between Israel and Iran. In the shadows of history, a conflict that has been brewing for decades continues to shape the future of nations. Israel and Iran, two giants locked in an ancient struggle. But what lies beneath this rivalry? It's not just the clash of armies, it's the collision of ideologies, of worldviews so deeply rooted in their cultures that they seem as old as time itself. Israel, driven by its need for survival in a hostile region, faces Iran's ambitions to spread its influence and power beyond its borders. This isn't merely a geopolitical war, it's a war for the soul of the Middle East, a battle where each side believes they hold the key to righteousness and divine destiny. We must remember that this isn't just about land, resources, or strategic positions. It's about legacy. Israel, founded in the ashes of the Holocaust, carries with it the burden of ensuring the safety of its people in a world that has tried to destroy them. Iran, on the other hand, has nurtured a deep sense of nationalism and religious duty, believing in its role as the guardian of the Islamic world. Each side, convinced of its own righteousness, moves with purpose. Yet it is a purpose that fuels the fires of hatred, the embers of a conflict that spans beyond earthly concerns into the spiritual and moral realms. Consider the words of the ancient prophets, who spoke of nations rising and falling in the name of power and divine will. As Israel continues to bolster its military might, defending its borders with an unwavering resolve, Iran's pursuit of nuclear power becomes the focal point of this struggle. Israel's airstrikes on Iran's nuclear facilities are not just attacks on infrastructure. They are strikes against an ideology that threatens to shift the balance of power in a volatile region. This isn't simply about stopping Iran's nuclear program, it's about halting a potential shift in the cosmic balance that has defined this conflict for centuries. But beneath the surface, there is more. It's not just a clash between two nations, it's the collision of two worldviews that have shaped civilizations. Israel, with its firm belief in the chosen people and divine protection, and Iran, with its vision of a global Islamic revolution, are locked in a struggle that transcends the realm of politics. This battle will not end until one side prevails, but the cost will be high, both in lives lost and in the spiritual toll on those involved. The role of the United States in the Israel-Iran conflict. What if the course of this conflict had already been set by forces far beyond the reach of those directly involved? The United States, often seen as Israel's staunchest ally, plays a crucial role in this saga. Israel's military strength, enhanced by American aid and weapons, is a testament to the deep alliance between these two nations. But the relationship between Israel and America goes far deeper than just military support. It is a bond forged in shared history, in shared values, and in shared faith. When we look at the history of US involvement in the Middle East, particularly under the leadership of Donald Trump, we see a marked shift in the way the world's most powerful nation interacts with Israel. Trump's alliance with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu was more than political. It was personal. A relationship born from mutual respect, a deep sense of shared destiny, and a vision for a future where Israel is unchallenged in its power. This connection strengthened Israel's position on the global stage, emboldening it to take risks it might otherwise avoid. Yet, this relationship also sowed the seeds of conflict, as Iran viewed America's unwavering support of Israel as an existential threat. The US has long been the puppeteer in this geopolitical theater, pulling strings and influencing the trajectory of the Middle East. But the true question is, what role does America play in this conflict, and how does its support of Israel shape the future of the region? America's influence is undeniable, but its involvement is also a double-edged sword. While it has ensured Israel's security, it has also become a target for those who see America as the enabler of Israel's dominance in the region. This complex relationship between Israel and the US is a delicate balance of power, one that could tip at any moment, plunging the world into deeper conflict. Just as in the days of the ancient kings, when nations formed alliances for protection or conquest, the ties between Israel and the US are both a blessing and a burden. The question remains, how much longer can these nations continue down this path, with America's involvement hanging over them like a sword of Damocles? Recent moves and the imminent showdown. The echoes of a coming storm are all around us. Recent statements from Prime Minister Netanyahu and the growing calls for regime change in Iran are not mere political posturing. They are the opening salvos in a much larger game. Netanyahu's calls for the Iranian people to rise up against their government are not just calls for rebellion. They are psychological tactics designed to weaken Iran from within. Just as the prophets of old warned of the corrupting influence of false idols and foreign powers, Netanyahu's words stir the hearts of the Iranian people, creating an internal divide that will only deepen the rift between these two nations. But there is more at play here. This is not just a battle fought with words, but one waged in the shadows of cyberspace. The modern battlefield is not just on land or sea, it is in the unseen world of information, where battles are fought with data and influence. Cyber warfare has become a central tool in this conflict, with both Israel and Iran engaging in covert operations aimed at disrupting the enemy's infrastructure, destabilizing governments, and spreading propaganda. The war for control of the narrative is as fierce as any traditional battle. The reality of this conflict is not limited to the headlines. It is a fight for the hearts and minds of the people, a struggle for influence in a world where information is power. As both Israel and Iran prepare for the inevitable clash, it becomes clear that this is not just about military superiority. It is about control over the future, about who gets to shape the world in their image. In the midst of this turmoil, we must ask ourselves, what does this conflict mean for us? How do we, as individuals, stand in the face of such a monumental struggle? The answer lies not in the outcome of the war itself, but in how we respond to it. Are we content to be bystanders watching as history unfolds, or will we find our place in the narrative? Will we be the voice of peace, calling for reconciliation and understanding? Or will we be swept up in the forces that drive us toward destruction? As the storm clouds gather, it is clear that the winds of war are blowing stronger each day. But we must not lose sight of the greater truth. The power to change the world lies not in the hands of those who fight, but in the hearts of those who choose to stand for peace. The challenge before us is not just to survive the coming storm, but to learn from it and become the people we were always meant to be. The nuclear dilemma and global consequences. In the heart of the Middle East, a decision looms, a decision that could ignite a fire so intense that its heat will scorch the very fabric of global security. Iran, with its unwavering pursuit of nuclear capabilities, is marching toward a threshold that, once crossed, may never be undone. This isn't just about missiles or weapons. It's about the power to control life itself, the power to change the fate of nations, and the ability to challenge the world's order as we know it. Picture it. Nuclear warheads in the hands of a regime that many in the West view as unstable. The very thought sends shivers down the spine of the international community. Yet Iran persists, driven by a vision of sovereignty, of security, and yes, of power. But beneath this ambition lies something more profound. A deep-seated belief that it is their destiny to wield such power. Just as the ancient kings sought control of the heavens and the earth, so too does Iran seek mastery over the future of the Middle East and, ultimately, the world. For Iran, nuclear weapons are not just a tool of warfare. They are a symbol of divine right, a sign of their place in the cosmic order. The implications of this pursuit stretch far beyond the borders of Iran. Nations that once stood at the periphery of this conflict are now drawn into its gravity, their fates intertwined with the decision of a single nation. Israel, the United States, Russia. These powerful players are not mere spectators but active participants in this high-stakes game. Just as a single spark can ignite a wildfire, so too can a single decision lead to a chain reaction that changes the course of history. This nuclear dilemma is not simply about the balance of power, it is a challenge to the very structure of the international order. If Iran succeeds in its quest, the world as we know it will shift, perhaps forever. Nations once allies may become enemies, and the very concept of security will be redefined. But even more terrifying than the weapons themselves is the question, what is the true cost of power? As nations continue to push their agendas, ignoring the consequences, the world stands on the precipice of a new and dangerous reality. The lessons of the past, of wars fought over ideologies, of battles waged for control, echo loudly in this moment, and yet we continue to gamble with fate. Will we learn from history, or will we repeat it? The New World Order and global ramifications. As the world hurtles toward a new era of uncertainty, one thing becomes painfully clear. The consequences of a full-scale war between Israel and Iran will extend far beyond the borders of the Middle East. The ripples of this conflict will be felt in every corner of the world, in every nation that dares to stand on the sidelines. The global balance of power, once stable, will be thrown into chaos. Nations that have never before been involved in this region's struggles will find themselves drawn into the maelstrom, their fates forever changed by the actions of a few. Consider the lessons of history, the great wars that shaped the course of civilizations, the conflicts that redrew borders and shifted the balance of power. The world wars of the 20th century, the Cold War, the rise of global terrorism. Each of these events was a catalyst that forever altered the trajectory of human progress. And now, we stand at the edge of another such moment, a moment where the stakes could not be higher. The involvement of global superpowers like Russia and China is not a matter of if, but when. These nations, with their own interests and ambitions, will not simply watch as the region erupts into flames. Just as they played pivotal roles in past global conflicts, they will now act as key players in this new, unfolding drama. The delicate dance of diplomacy, once a tool to avoid war, may become a weapon in itself, as nations maneuver for power and influence in a rapidly changing world. And as each nation seeks to protect its own interests, the entire global order could unravel. leading to a world where allegiances shift with the winds of power. But this isn't just a story about politics. It's a story about humanity, about how the choices made by those in power affect the lives of the millions who have no voice in these decisions. The people of Israel, Iran, and beyond will bear the brunt of the consequences of this conflict. Families will be torn apart, lives lost in an instant, dreams shattered by the cruelty of war. And all of this because a few individuals in power failed to seek peace, failed to understand the true cost of their ambitions. The path forward is unclear, but one thing is certain: the world will never be the same again. This is the crossroads at which we stand, a point where the choices we make today will shape the future of generations to come. As we watch these events unfold, we must ask ourselves, what kind of world do we want to live in? One defined by power struggles and endless conflict, or one where peace and understanding can finally take root? It is time for us to reflect on our own roles in this global drama. Will we stand by and watch as history repeats itself, or will we rise above the noise, seeking out the path of peace and healing? The choice is ours, but the clock is ticking, and the consequences of inaction may be more than we can bear. The power of reconciliation, embracing peace in a divided world. Amidst the noise of conflict, amidst the clashing of armies and the pain of division, there exists a power so pure, so profound, that it can heal wounds no medicine can touch, calm storms no force can silence. That power is the power of reconciliation. It is a power that can break the chains of hatred, dismantle the walls of division, and mend the hearts of those who have been torn apart by strife. This power doesn't come from military might or political strategy. It comes from something deeper, something far more transformative. It comes from the willingness to forgive, to listen, and to see the humanity in those who seem so different from us. Look around you. The world is fractured. Nations, communities, families, and even individuals are torn by differences, be it religion, politics, race, or ideology. In a world that seems more divided than ever before, it is easy to feel as if peace is an impossible dream. Yet history has shown us time and time again that even in the darkest moments, reconciliation can shine like a beacon of hope. We often forget that peace is not merely the absence of conflict, it is the presence of something much deeper. True peace is not a political agreement or a ceasefire. True peace is a transformation of the heart, a willingness to lay down our weapons, be they physical, emotional, or ideological, and to seek understanding and healing. It is about seeing the other person not as an enemy, but as a fellow soul, created in the same image of God, with the same fears, the same desires, and the same longing for love and acceptance. In this moment, we must ask ourselves, can we be the ones to lead the charge toward peace? Can we, with the love and grace that flows from the deepest parts of our hearts, build the bridges that will connect us across the divides? Can we forgive those who have hurt us and extend our hands in reconciliation to those who seem impossible to forgive? The Bible tells us that blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God. These are not just words to be read. They are a call to action. They remind us that peace is not just something we hope for. It is something we actively pursue. It is not easy. It requires us to step outside of our comfort zones, to let go of our pride, and to open our hearts to the possibility of healing. It requires us to face our deepest wounds, to acknowledge the pain that has been caused, and to say, I choose to forgive. Forgiveness is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of strength. It takes a powerful soul to forgive, to look at the one who has wronged you and say, I release you. I will not let the pain of the past control my future. This act of forgiveness, of releasing the chains of resentment, is the very thing that allows us to heal, not just ourselves, but the world around us. But forgiveness is not just about what we give to others. It is also about what we give to ourselves. When we choose reconciliation, we free ourselves from the burden of bitterness and hatred. We free our hearts from the weight of anger that holds us back from experiencing the fullness of life that God has intended for us. We become vessels of peace, spreading healing wherever we go. Now, more than ever, the world needs peacemakers. We are called to be the ones who break the cycle of violence, to be the ones who step into the chaos and bring calm, to be the ones who speak truth in a world that often prefers lies. It is not enough to simply stand by and hope for peace to emerge on its own. We must act. We must speak. We must move forward with love, with compassion, and with the unwavering belief that peace is always possible, no matter the circumstances. In the midst of the darkness, there is light. And that light is in you, in me, in all of us. We are the carriers of peace, the bearers of love, the ones who have the power to bring healing to a broken world. It is not a power that comes from force or intimidation. It is a power that comes from the willingness to open our hearts, to forgive, to heal. It is a power that transcends all boundaries, geographical, political, cultural, and connects us all as one human family. The path to peace begins with each of us. It begins with the choices we make in our daily lives. Will we choose to hold on to our anger, or will we let it go? Will we choose to divide, or will we choose to unite? Will we choose to see others as our enemies, or will we choose to see them as brothers and sisters in this shared journey of life? Peace is not something that will happen by chance. It is something we must work toward, something we must actively pursue every day, in every conversation, in every interaction, in every choice we make. It is something that begins in our hearts and spreads outward, touching the lives of everyone we encounter. And so, as we reflect on the state of the world, on the tensions, the conflicts, and the struggles that surround us, let us remember that we are not powerless. We are not helpless in the face of violence, division, or hatred. We have the power to change the world. We have the power to bring peace. But this power begins with us, right here, right now. It begins with the decision to choose love over hate, to choose forgiveness over resentment, and to choose peace over war. If this message has touched your heart, if it has stirred something deep within you, I humbly ask for your support, your presence, your engagement, your voice. They matter. Every like, every comment, every share is a seed that grows and spreads the message of peace and reconciliation. If this video has brought light into your life, if it has helped you find peace amidst the chaos, I invite you to support this channel and the work being done here. Your energy, no matter how small, is priceless. Together, we can spread this message further, we can touch more lives, and we can be the change we wish to see in the world. Thank you for being here, for walking this journey of peace with me. May we all continue to seek reconciliation, healing, and love, knowing that through our actions, we can make the world a brighter, more compassionate place. The time for peace is now. Let us be the ones to bring it. In the quiet moments, when the world slows and the noise fades into the background, there is a whisper, a call that beckons to each of us. It is the call to awaken, to rise above the struggles and uncertainties that surround us, and to seek something greater. It's a call to find peace, not in the absence of conflict, but in the presence of something far deeper, something eternal. As you've journeyed with me through this video, you've felt the weight of these words, the truths that resonate with your soul. Perhaps for a moment, you caught a glimpse of the light that we so desperately seek in our darkest hours. When we face trials, be it personal struggles, global conflicts, or the storms of life that seem unrelenting, It's easy to feel as though we are walking through a desert, lost and alone. But in those moments, I want you to remember something. In the silence, when the world feels heavy, that's when the greatest revelations often emerge. Like the Israelites wandering through the wilderness, not knowing what lay ahead, we too must trust that the path will eventually lead us to something greater than we could ever imagine. It may not be a path we would have chosen, but it is the one we are meant to walk. And in that journey, we find our strength, our purpose, and our hope. This world, filled with its trials and tribulations, often makes it hard to see beyond the moment. Yet, it is in the darkest of times that the light of God's love shines brightest. In a world so divided, where the pressures of life can weigh us down, we are reminded that we do not walk alone. The Creator is with us, guiding our every step, even when we cannot see the way. Every struggle, every battle we face has a purpose. Each challenge refines us, molds us into the person we are meant to be. And in that refining, we are not broken. We are made whole. I know that sometimes the journey feels long and uncertain. There are days when the weight of it all seems too much to bear. But I want to remind you as you watch this, that within you is a strength that no trial can diminish. Your soul is powerful, capable of more than you realize. The challenges you face are not a reflection of your weakness, but a testament to your resilience. You have the power to overcome, to rise, to find peace, and to move forward with unwavering faith. As we look around at the world, at the turmoil and the suffering, it is easy to feel helpless. But the truth is, every one of us has the power to make a difference. Even the smallest act of kindness, the simplest gesture of love, can create ripples that spread across the world. By standing together, by supporting one another, we create a force of light that no darkness can overcome. Just as a single candle can light up a room, each of us has the power to light up the world. If this message has touched your heart, if it has brought you peace or hope, I invite you to support this journey of sharing the truth. By liking and subscribing, you're not just supporting the video, you're supporting the movement of light and love that we are building together. Every click, every comment, every share is a small yet powerful act of kindness, a contribution to a world that needs more of what we have to offer. Together we can spread the light of faith, hope, and love, and make this world a place of healing and peace. If you feel this message has been a source of strength for your spirit, I humbly ask for your support in helping continue to spread these teachings. Your energy, your presence here, means more than words can express. Every contribution, no matter how small, helps fuel this mission to bring light into the darkness. And for that, I am eternally grateful. Thank you from the depths of my heart for being a part of this journey. Your support is invaluable not just to me, but to the countless souls who are touched by these words. Let us continue to walk this path together, finding strength in each other and in the light that guides us. The road may be long, but together we can illuminate the way.